Hey everyone. So I'm just back from the run and I thought of posting this. Now I don't really have a content calendar or something like that. So whatever that comes to my mind, I just post it. Yeah, at times I don't even edit the clip, that is like cutting or doing anything of that sort. So that's that. So the point that I'm trying to make is I was thinking about this yesterday. So we all have dreams, right? We all want to achieve something or the other. We all want to grow in our lives. And every time we think about that, we might feel that there is a slight spark that ignites. That's like, yes, I'm going to do this, yes, I'm going to do that, oh yes, I've got it all sorted, I know each and every route. And you're so charged up, like so charged up that you feel that you're going to conquer the world. Very real feeling, okay, very real and intense feeling. But you must have also realized that after a certain point, like let's say after an hour, or maybe after 2 3 hours, or maybe after a day, the spark just dies and you are back into the like old self that is a bit chill, that doesn't really care much. I won't really say care much, but that doesn't really have the spark, the intensity that it had the other day. And that really made me think about this as to what exactly is this? Like, what is this spark? Because clearly, a person cannot sustain on a spark, right? There has to be something that keeps that spark in a constant state. And that's where I came with this maybe metaphor, is how I would say it. But it goes like, when you want to do something, that spark that you feel, the intensity, the absolute optimism that you feel, where you can, like conquer the world, that thought, that is definitely a spark. But like every other spark that you see, if you want that spark to sustain, you need some sort of fuel, right? Like even if you switch on your gas, you can see that when you ignite it, like when you use the lighter, there is that slight spark. But in order for that spark to sustain, for you to have a fire on which you can cook whatever that you want to, you need to have fuel. All right, so we use gas for that fuel, but in terms of our lives, I have this understanding that the fuel that can be used, that sustains, is none other than actions. Like, actions, basically actions. For someone who wants to achieve something, for someone who wants to get admitted into some college, there might be that spark that, yes, I am going to get into that college, yes, this is happening, and all that optimism thing. They can have that, and it's needed. All right, you need that to kickstart your journey, to kickstart your bike, to kickstart that gas stuff. But in order for that spark to sustain, what you need is consistent fuel. And that consistent fuel is none other than consistent actions. They can be anything, maybe researching about whatever that you are interested in, maybe putting up a few applications just to see how exactly you are sitting, how exactly you are able to present yourself. And I believe most of the times, whatever we do in our lives has to do, like more with how you present, how you communicate, how you articulate. That really matters. Of course, the skills are necessary, but if you are able to articulate yourself well, if you are able to communicate yourself well, present yourself well, I don't think anyone would really ignore you. But that's the point that I'm trying to make. So actions play here as a play here the role of fuel. Now let's just talk about something like switching on a gas stove. All right, we had talked about that. So when you switch on the gas stove and you have like ignited the lighter as well, there is fire, there is consistency. But if at all there is like if you stay in a place that's very windy, you have kept the windows open, the fire won't be able to be consistent, right? Because of the wind, it will keep on fluctuating, and that will really delay the whole process of cooking. And similarly, in our life, what are the windows open, or what is that windy thing that happens? Maybe I would have not framed it well, but what I was trying to say is, if you correlate it with your life, then in your life, when you choose to do something that is a spark, and when you are putting consistent actions in the form of fuel, then what is that thing that is, like creating resistance? Well, in this case, this thing is purely internal, because a lot of times when you uh, act, when you send out applications, you won't hear back or you would get rejection. And that's, I believe, a part of life. Rejections, I believe, are more like a guiding path, that this door is not for you. You need to really look for the one that's right for you, and it guides you. Like every time you are being rejected, it is literally like you are being aligned on the path that you should be going. Now, I know it sounds very, in a spiritual sense, but maybe it is what it is. So, yeah, like the resistance in this case is literally like you thinking, am I even cut out for this? Am I even the right one? Or am I even deserving? Or will I even get into this? Can I even do it? All these thoughts, maybe, you can call them as limiting thoughts. Those are the resistances. Those are the windy, weather effects that come, that come like a resistance on the fuel that you have, on the gas that is lit. So, what can you do? Well, thankfully, even if there is that resistance, the action, the fuel that you do is way more than these resistances. Like, it is very difficult to really, act when you have mental hindrances, mental resistances. And it happens with everyone, okay? That when you are mentally so blocked, mentally exhausted, mentally questioning yourself, it is really difficult to act on anything that you have decided. But I just want to tell you that no matter what sort of resistance you might have, if you really just act, if you just do one thing, one small act that just affirms you that, yeah, this is doable, this is in your capacity, or this is in your area of achievements, then there is nothing that will be able to extinguish that fire that you have, as long as you are acting, as long as your fuel is intact. And I think that's all that I would like to say. So, like, if I have to summarize it in very short, that in life you will have spark, where that spark will tell you that you can do this, you can do that, and it will be a true one, okay? But in order for that spark to turn into fire and to sustain, you will have to make sure that you are putting consistent efforts, okay? And these efforts, while you are at them, while you are at it, you will also be faced with resistances. And those are very natural, okay? Resistances like you will start self doubting, you will start to question if you are going on the right path or not. But no matter what, as long as you are putting the fuel, as long as your actions are aligned with what you want to do, what you want to achieve, your fire will stay consistent. And honestly, as long as you are trying, you will reach a destination. And once you have reached that destination, that's when you have to ask, am I really happy at this destination? Like, yes, of course, you have worked for it, you got to be be grateful that you are where you are. But then that's where you can ask, do I have to grow in another direction now? So using all that you have achieved, you can move into other direction, and then again another direction. And that's how maybe life is. And you can't really gauge this, or you can't really judge this, that okay, if I am doing this, this is where I am going to reach. A lot of times that doesn't work. Like, even if you look backwards in your life, in your past, you will be surprised to realize that a lot of things that you have achieved, a lot of things that you have got, you didn't even think that you were going to get that. It's just I mean, like, it so happens that you did something that you like you did for maybe just because you wanted to do, and that led to something, and that something led to something, and that's how things happen. So a lot of times when you decide to do something, you end up achieving it. But there are also a lot of times when you decide to do something, in that process of achieving that something, you end up achieving something else. But trust me, that something else is also as good as something that you wanted. And maybe that's just how life is. So make sure you are putting in all the actions that you can in order to achieve all that you want to. Ensure that you are fueling the spark that's ignited within you. All right, and I think that's how I'll just close the video. So yeah, that's that. Take care.